Hello, we are Team OOF and welcome to our process overview video on our app Tutor. In this video, we'll be talking about how we got started on this application and what brought us to this stage, the final product of our app. So firstly, we went about identifying the existing problem that students face, which is the insufficiency of teaching aids to support their learning in BT 1101. Now, BT 1101 is a compulsory module for business analytics students in the School of Computing. This was important because for many of them, they did not have prior programming experience, so it is imaginable how concerned they would feel as to whether they would be able to cope. This is evident in their responses as shown. So that is where we recognized the potential of our solution, one that could give students a head start in terms of their literacy in R, while at the same time aiding them in consolidating the module content. We are not teaching anything theoretical, rather we're helping them to level up their practical proficiency in R. We knew we were onto something that could really change the present state of things in BT 1101. And we wanted to make sure that our juniors had a more solid foundation than we had. This is the rough timeline that we worked with. We first identified a problem through surveys with the BT 1101 students to understand their needs. Next, we created a paper prototype and tested it. From there, we created a clickable prototype and gathered some feedback through interviews. With that, we began developing our app, both the front end and the custom runtime needed for R. We gathered more feedback and refined our features while continuing our work on the custom runtime. This was the general way of how we worked. We created a prototype, shared it, gathered some feedback, and then went back to refine. So on to the features of our app. So firstly, to address the primary concern of our users, that they lack a clear understanding of lecture materials and that teaching resources were incompatible, we customized our videos and specially selected questions to allow them to review their learning. Onto the functional features, we added a navigation bar at the top because our users wanted to conveniently navigate across topics to select one that they are weak at. Now, some of our users shared that they did not know how to approach a question and suggested for us to provide hints. So that inspired our hint button for every question. Our users also wanted to be able to revisit some topics without having to watch the entire tutorial video again. And so that is how we came about creating the summary page. Now, as for our questions, we had multiple choice questions as well as some interactive coding. Multiple choice questions because our users wanted an efficient way to consolidate their practice, and MCQs were a good way to do this. We also added interactive coding because our users had shared that they would love to have an opportunity to practice some coding. Now, the limitation of this was that we needed R runtime. Although we managed to get it to work, it does not support complicated codes. So these are the technicalities of our app. On the front end, we are using Vue.js. On the back end, AWS Lambda as well as R. So this pre-built layer for R runtime does not have full functionality for R, so there is some limitation as to what kinds of code it can run. Now with that, we thank you very much for your attention and we hope you enjoyed our app and this video.